I'm Dr. Orion Taraban, and this is PsycHacks, Better Living Through Psychology. And the topic of today's short talk is how to have a fulfilling life. So this is something that many people are looking for, and I don't blame them. A fulfilling life is a supremely good thing. Today, I'm going to tell you how to go about doing just this. First off, you have to understand that if you want to have a fulfilling life, you, a specific individual, you will need to create it for yourself. Inhabiting a lifestyle is kind of like buying clothes. If you buy them off the rack, the best you can hope for is like an 85% fit. And that's the best possible outcome and generally requires a lot of shopping around. If you want more than an 85% fit, you will need to have those clothes custom tailored. By the same token, if you're looking for a fulfilling life, you will need to custom tailor it to your own specifications. Just like you inhabit a unique and individual body that is not quite like any other body on the planet, you are a unique and individual person who is not quite like any other person on the planet. So we'll need to roll up our sleeves and get to work. So what does that work entail? To have a fulfilling life, you really need two things. You need vision and you need want. You need both. And it's the union of these two things that allow for the actualization of a lifestyle that will be fulfilling to you personally. Let's get into this. First, let's talk about vision. Vision is imagination plus granularity. It's the ability to imagine at a fine resolution of detail. The best metaphor I have for vision is an architect's blueprint. Once a blueprint has been completed, in some respect, the structure has already been built. All that remains is to erect it. A completed blueprint has attended to every detail of the structure, down to the size of the screws in the hinges in the basement. This is the level of resolution necessary for the task. Now, before I go any further, if you're liking what you're hearing, then please consider sending this video to someone who might benefit from its message. It's word of mouth referrals like this that really help to make the channel grow. And you can also hit the super thanks button and tip me in proportion to the value you feel you've received from this episode. This helps to keep the channel going. I really appreciate your support. Now, with respect to creating a vision for a fulfilling life, rather than imagine all the things you want to have accomplished or achieved in, say, the next 5 years, a much better idea is to imagine in excruciating detail how you would like to be spending an average Tuesday 5 years from now. And that's because no matter how exciting or exotic your life may be, you will have far more average Tuesdays than peak experiences. So you want to create a life in which most of your days are fulfilling, not a life in which once in a blue moon, you experience some degree of satisfaction as a result of a significant achievement. So imagine, with some measure of granularity, an average Tuesday in your life 5 years from now. Where do you wake up? When do you wake up? Who do you wake up next to? How do you spend your morning, your afternoon, your evening? How do you feel? Who do you interact with? What do you have to look forward to? Try to really dial in what that looks like so that you can reverse engineer from the intended destination. Now, vision is good, but vision without want is a trap. Some folks are very intellectual and have powerfully extrapolated imaginations, and these people can get lost in their own visions. They end up endlessly creating these fantastically complicated, intricate systems of living that never get built. So we have to understand that while the structure is, in some sense, completed in the blueprint, you can't actually live in a blueprint. You can only live in the erected structure. So at a certain point, we all have to stop planning and start acting. And action requires some degree of want, which is like a combination of desire and will. I don't love the word want, but it's the best I've come up with. Desire is too associated with pleasure and emotion. Will is too disembodied and intellectual. However, their combination, the union of embodied and disembodied agency, is a dynamo, and I'm calling that want. It's a strong, sustainable, emotionally compelling drive without which nothing really ever gets done. Want is connected with the life force, whose primary expression is the sex drive, which is why one of the best ways men can increase their want is to stop masturbating. This way, the sex drive can be increasingly sublimated toward constructive action in the real world. Now, want is good, but want without vision is also a trap. Some folks have a powerful want and a great deal of agency for action. But without vision, these people can fall into recklessness, impulsivity, and short-term gratification. People with a high degree of want and no vision are like dogs who spend all day chasing cars. They run after one until another goes off in another direction, and they turn around and chase after that one instead. Dogs like this can chase cars all day and never leave the block. Similarly, people with high want and low vision often don't get very far in life, and they end up squandering a very valuable resource. So to have a fulfilling life, you need to have vision, which is the completed blueprint, and you need to have want, which is the drive to actualize that vision in reality. If you develop both of those capacities and you harmonize them with prudence, you will be able to create a fulfilling life for yourself. I guarantee it. And one final thought. It may sound strange, but people are actually happiest when they are in the process of becoming, not when they actually become. So if your vision has a terminus that can actually be attained, you might be somewhat disappointed when you actually arrive. The blueprint for a fulfilling life is kind of like the schematic for the Westchester Mystery House, which was always under construction as long as its owner was alive. A wise vision will always provide you with something to do, not just something for you to have done. This is because it is the process of sublimating your want in the service of your vision that most people experience as extremely fulfilling. What do you think? Does this fit with your own experience? Let me know in the comments below. And if you've gotten this far, you might as well like this episode and subscribe to this channel. You may also consider becoming a channel member with perks like priority review of comments or booking a paid consultation. You can find out more about both of those options by clicking on the pinned comment in the comments section below. This will take you to my website where I talk about all the details associated with going through those processes. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you next time.